Hey, this is Tyshawn Moore. This is my refactoring walkthrough for Module 3. The code I'm starting with is a piece of my project from my Hydra AI offline AI assistant. The function is part of the handle that, sorry, the function is the part that handles the chat message. It takes whatever's typed, finds the best answer from the knowledge packs, saves the conversation, and then sends a reply back. Let me show you the starter version first. So, as you can see, the function called handle, honestly, it's doing everything. It's doing way too much. I check the message to see whether or not it's empty. It trims it to about 2,000 characters to make it see if it's too long. It loops through the pack to find a match. It picks up the reply, and then it opens a file and writes to the history, or writes the history, all jammed into one little small place. All right. And when you look at the situation of the names, all of the variables are small, just one letter situations that over time, if I look at this 2 weeks later, it'll be a situation of me definitely not knowing what this thing does, and then I have to remember it all over again just to try to get an understanding of what it is that I was trying to write. I don't have that many comments in here. I know that part. I know the numbers like this 2,000 and everything um, are just sitting there with no explanation. It pretty much opens a file by just like hand instead of doing it pretty much the safe way. But the thing about it is, none of this is like nothing's wrong, nothing's broken. It runs fine, but knowing this situation is the kind of code that it'll be a pain in the butt to change later on, or if something breaks, then I gotta like come back and fix all of everything. Uh, it's better to try to break it down, refactor it, so on and so forth. So here is the refactored clean. Uh, there we go. Here's the refactored clean version. So I have my comments. I wrote everything out. Um, it's more of a reliable situation because now I've turned all of the pieces into functions themselves. I've written out the variables instead of making them just like M and PK, and now it's message and pack. Um, it now uses just handle as the control instead of the situation of being everything. So, like it already showed before, it takes in the message, it knocks it down to about 2,000 characters or so. Come on, guy. Uh, it looks at the reply, it looks at the pack, and then gives us a reply. Or it doesn't give us a reply yet, but like it then appends the message to the history, and then gives us a reply, and all that is being controlled by multiple functions that are handling everything. The great part about this is uh, the magic number and everything is instead of it being constants, now it's a situation of a message, or I mean a variable, and nobody really knows what it does now since we have everything up here. uh, like if they're just looking at just the code or whatever, they don't really know what the number is, I guess, unless I put it in there. Uh, and pretty much, I'm gonna use this to prove I didn't really change anything or break anything. This is all, Studio Magic prepared. Let's see if we can. Yes, we can. Boom. So with this, we'll be testing that all three. I mean, excuse me, both of these files actually match each other, and all case matches, same behavior, clean code. So everything works the way it's supposed to work. I didn't change anything to improve the behavior. I pretty much just made the code more modular so then it can just work. Um, and that's my refactor. The big idea is single responsibility. The old function pretty much had all of these other functions all built into it. Excuse me, Harper. The new one, it's like handing each job to a small piece that does one thing well instead of everything just packed into one small function, which is way better. Again, it's easy to read, or it's easier to read, way easier to read. It's easier to test, and a lot easier to change later if anything goes wrong or if we want to add to. So, thanks for watching.